So we have a new guitar in my collection. This is a DBZ Venom. Now, I was skeptical on how this guitar would play, but once I tried it, I kind of had to buy it, which is a little bit annoying, but I'm glad I've got it. And it sounds pretty damn good. Just a quick overview of the specs. Floyd Rose, 24 frets, EMG pickups, I think it's an 81, I don't know what the neck pickup is, I think it might be an 85, doesn't matter, I don't really use it. All mahogany construction, and I think it's a rosewood neck, but it doesn't really, well, rosewood fretboard, but it doesn't really sound like a rosewood fretboard. It sounds more like ebony. And it says 25.5-inch scale. I think it's a little bit bigger, maybe touching towards 26, because having 52 to 10s on here, the tension is quite high, but it makes for a really tight sound, which I quite like. And it's great for the heavy riffs. So how does a DBZ compare to a Dean? First of all, I talk about the scale length. This is a little bit bigger, so it does feel like a longer guitar. You do have to it feels like your shoulders are slightly stretched when you're especially sitting down with this guitar. When it comes to like the neck and the feel and the playability, first of all, it sits alright. This spike here, if you're sitting down, and because of the camera I need to keep this chair kind of low, it does kind of hit my foot slightly. Not the biggest problem. Just you can kind of lean it on your leg so it's a bit more upright, or you can just have it normally. Now, when it comes to the neck, this is a smaller neck, still slightly V'd out at the back, which I quite like. A lot of people don't like it. I'm in favour of the V-shaped necks, and it's just easier for my hand to grasp and get a hold of it. It's a bit smaller than the ML modifier, and basically almost all of them. I think the other ML here, that has a similar neck profile to this, and I think they're just a little bit similar, but these two guitars have my more favoured neck, where it's just that tiny bit kind of just in your hands a bit more. You can get your hand grasped around it, spacing between the strings, like the actual height of the neck and the frets and stuff, that's still a lot smaller than, especially the modifier, because that's got quite wide spacing between all of the strings. This one's a bit closer, which I like a lot more. It's easier for I find it easier to sweep and do all the shreddy stuff on this guitar. But I'm quite happy with this. And what also makes this guitar very special is that it has Dean's signature on the back. I'm not sure if the camera is going to get it, but I'll put some B-roll in on the back of the headstock, which is a great spot for it, because you keep the overall look of the front of the guitar without being spoiled by any writing or anything. Doesn't matter whose it is, you just want to, I prefer a guitar to be signed on the back as opposed to the front. this is one of the best guitars that you can buy, especially in the heavy metal category. This is probably one of the best ones ever when it comes to like the look, playability, feel, the build quality, and just the sound of the whole thing. You know, like if I had this guitar sooner, I don't think I would have bought so many other guitars, you know, because this kind of does everything that I kind of want from a guitar. You know, spec wise is how I'd like it. You know, the shape's great, it's comfortable, the pickups are good. I don't think I would change them because these EMGs do the job just fine. I would, if I were to, you know, really spec out a guitar, it would honestly just be something like this: 24 frets, Floyd Rose. I wouldn't have a tone control, I would have 2 volume controls, so I can use the pickup switch as a kill switch, instead of having 1 master volume, and just have more ebony, like a darker looking ebony on the fretboard. And I quite like the white colouring as well. I think it looks very, very elegant. The unfortunate thing for you guys is these DBZs, especially the Venoms, are very, very rare. You can buy the diamonds, but they don't have the cool headstock. But if you don't mind the diamond headstock, then have a look into those. On a scale of 1 to 10, 1 being don't buy, 10 being buy, this will be a complete 10.